So now that we've looked at posterior OCT scans, we can of course do anterior OCT scans with this device. What we need to do is attach the anterior module adapter, which we'll find in this box that you'll get with the device. There is also a forehead rest, which you can add, particularly useful for anterior photography as opposed to anterior OCT. Now the anterior module you need to be careful with is a quite delicate lens that has a little notch here, a white notch that needs to fit into a notch at the front of the OCT with these two calipers that we push in like so. So we're going to now attach the anterior module. I'll show you how to do that now. So now we're going to put the anterior module in place. So we line this notch up with the one on the OCT device, holding the calipers closed, then we let them open and they will grab, and now the lens is securely in place. So now that we've attached the anterior lens, we're ready to take some OCT scans. We'll just pop the box out of the way and ready to take some scans. The first thing we need to do is click on OCT, and then we need to click on cornea, and that gives us a choice then of two types of corneal scan. We have what's known as a corneal radial, which is lots of clock face scans through the cornea, and ACA line, which is anterior chamber angle line, which is a single line scan usually taken at the limbus to allow us to get an idea of the patient's anterior chamber angle. First of all, we'll do a corneal radial. Now this anterior OCT is not fully automated, so it's much more important to be quite precise with our movements. So with the patient in place, make sure the device is pulled fully back first, center the device on the patient's eye and slowly move in, always looking at the bottom part of this screen on the computer now. As we slowly move in toward the patient, we will start to see in a moment the cornea come into view, like so. Now you will notice there are two rectangles. The left-hand rectangle allows us to look at the horizontal movement of the scan, and the right-hand rectangle allows us to look at the vertical movement. We need to position the apex of the cornea about 5 millimeters below the horizontal yellow line, and so we get the horizontal apex in position first, and then using the up and down here on the joystick we get the right-hand apex in position as well. Make sure the patient's forehead is pushed forward all the time, and you should see a little green light there if you just stare at that for me and blink a few times if you would please, and now stare, just press the button, and in a moment capturing will have completed. You can blink now, thank you. And once again we check that all those scan images have been captured, that's fine. And of course, because it's in manual mode, we don't need to worry about it taking an automatic scan once again. Now that we've captured the corneal radial scan, we'll capture an anterior chamber angle line scan, or ACA line. The patient won't see any fixation here, so you might want to use the movable LED fixation if need be. But usually if you ask the patient just to look straight ahead, that should be enough. So if you just keep looking straight ahead, please. Now we line the line scan up on the screen with the patient's limbus, that's the junction between what we see as the cornea and the white of the eye, the sclera, and we move in until we see the cornea come into view in the rectangle, and we can now see also the iris come into view. And we move it so that horizontally and vertically the angle between the cornea and the iris are roughly in the very, very centre of the screen. So don't blink now, just stare. I press the button and very quickly the line scan has been captured. Normally we can then analyse that image to see the actual angular size of the anterior chamber angle, and you will see later on that you can actually convert that into Van Herrichs as well. So now that we've taken anterior OCT scans, we'll need to remove the anterior lens module to be able to carry on taking other scans, so we'll do that now. So again, we grab the calipers, push them in and pull the lens out, and we need to put it back in the box to store it safely, and we'll do that too.